Who am I? Where do I come from? There goes a little bit of that mustache. Instead of taking my time, you remember when I said, who am I? Who can I be? Now it stinks my mustache. 50-year-old guy burning his mustache like he couldn't care less, coming on here to tell people who he thinks he is, so they should understand better when they watch. I'm no one from nowhere, who knows not much at all, who stands a roaring 5 feet 7 inches tall. I weigh approximately 165. All I know is I'm breathing, I'm alive. I have nowhere to go and really not much to say, but it's a good old fucking Monday, don't you think? It's my day, it's your day. In French they say it's the moon day, but there's no way it's any other day but today. One day at a time, you can think ahead in the front. But then she's a bitch in the hunt, and then you really know which way to go, because Monday falls on Tuesday. That's right, when Tuesday comes, Monday falls. I know that when you drive into a no parking zone, it'll do this, and turn that P basically into an R. The resident angel, place for one. What does it mean, angel resident? Well, you can say 70 kilometers an hour is the speed. 70 is 70. It's also the R when you're driving your car. Regardless of the distance of how far you're driving, you should never really go over the speed limit. There's a reason for some things that make sense. Speed will kill and make dents. When you're drunk and disorderly, you go over the fence. Whence it was, just to be. I'll tell you something, one other short little story. Yeah, I'm trying to fuck around here. Only 2 minutes in. Let's make it fun. What do I think about comets? Well, this is what I'm going to tell you about a comet. Okay. The word comet has a total of a 53-letter count, and I like to say that's the beginning of the egg. 35 is the kickoff. 75 yards later is the end of the end zone. 75 and 35 is 110 stories of the Twin Towers. When I heard they discovered the Star of Bethlehem, they said 3 years later Jesus came. And then so on and so forth over time. They always talk about something happening every time a comet comes. Well, of course, if this world that we are in is true to the way I understand it, which means somehow it's electronical, somehow it's not just an evolution of space, it's like the evolution of space, but it's not the evolution of space. It takes place in the evolution of this place in space. And it happens just like it would in the universe. But I also believe that the universe is hostile. They show us things that were flying. If we didn't see a comet fly in once and now and then we wouldn't believe we're on a real Earth. But they do come in showing us it's real. But still at the same time, is it a coincidence that a comet comes just like that, where the whole world knew? There wasn't much in the news. Do you know why? I don't have a TV. But there was enough in the news that it made it online, and I saw it. Sometimes in order to cut out what's on TV, you just have to shut the TV off and pick it up online. What becomes live, you end up seeing. Something to talk about 27. Well, 27 is house to house, from center to center, from line to line, from end to end, from the beginning is 2, and the end is always the 7 in one house. There is never more of a count in one house than actually 3. But, okay, in every house, each row has a minimum, okay, levels of 9 as per dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because of the Rubik's Cube. And if you start at minus 13, plus 27, you'll be at 14. Plus 27, you'll be at 41. Plus 27, you'll be at 68. The house of man 95 will be the passage and the birth. So 95 is the highest before you get to 100. Then you get 3/4 and 2 10-cent pieces, making it 59 or 26. 59 is 118, which is aha, H and Resh. 26 is Venus and Saturn, which is B and F, the beta world of business where man takes place. And in between each one is basically this design. It can also say radioactive. It can also say fleur-de-lis. What does it mean, fleur-de-lis? The flying of the wings in front of Jesus when he was dead, and in front of the Ten Commandments when they were set out, was always the fleur-de-lis. The fleur-de-lis looks a little bit nuclear in its design. Somehow the fleur-de-lis is big time. What are these hanging on my shoulders? I had nothing to do one day, and I was sitting on the metro, so I took out my marker during the couple hours I was on it and decided to write all over my pants. In fact, this is probably my best 3D design I've ever done. I'm quite sure it can come out if you really want to. But I paint, I design. Am I good at it? Personally, I don't think so. Am I good really at anything? Yeah, I think so. What everybody thinks I am the worst at, I think I am the best at. I think I'm pretty good at thinking, trying to understand. I guess. Comet, the total is 53. 5 by 3 is 15 the egg. 5 plus 3, 8 the heaven where the egg shall be. Command and create. I still think the comet is like, it could be part of the system matrix in which they throw a comet in and it's got some kind of radioactive or radio numbers inside of it which send off, and then somebody is born in this world that's touched by it in the air. And they become that, because I believe the sperm and the egg are the radio transmitters. I mean, that's what I think. I think they're the biggest of all the radio transmitters of man. What else is there? 114 days, 38, 38, 38, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 days for a pig's pregnancy, 114 days, ace, 2 ace. Why do I say that? Because when you're playing poker, the first card is an ace, and the highest card is an ace. The first card and the 14th card, 1, 1, 4, the pig's pregnancy, 2 aces, 2 pigs, the center dot of the ace. Listen and hear what I said. I only tell you what the truth is. What do? I bring up a lot of coincidences, like stupidities I'll bring around now since we don't know each other, is the jack. Or it could be the standing 1. Or it could actually be the 4. Or we can make it the 7 and the 1, creating the same old 4. And then there's D's. These are things that I do. It was 818. I know that's part of the number for this year. And then I do like D's. B, it's a double D. D, it's a single D. R, it's a single D. And then you know what happens when you cut 0 in half? We're going to make a square 0, okay? We're going to make a square 0, and we're going to cut it in half. What do we get? We get a standing 0 on this side. Here we get 1 square 0. Here we get 2 kinds of different standing zeros. A different kind of world. For the kind of 0 it is, or if you color it in here and color it in here, you have 2 standing blocks of 1. Or you can see, forget about this line and forget about the line down here, you have 1, 1, 1. Because in this game that we play, when there's 9 positions, I'm not exactly sure how it works, but you see all these lines here? When you use this dot and this dot, the line's coming downward. But when you use this dot and this dot, the lines down this way work. That means the other lines become invisible. You're on a different level. So when you use these two don't count. That means you have 3, 6, and 1 in the center is 7. Or don't count the center because it is the pin of all. When it goes on this angle, it's the pin that runs them all up, and their primary pin before the secondary arms coming from here to here. Don't forget, there's you saw the Jetsons, of course. You saw the Jetsons. You saw the Flintstones, of course. Or maybe you're only 16 years old and you're watching me, so I better not swear. I did swear in a couple of my videos. I don't like to swear. But you know what? They sort of fit nowadays. It's like saying money. Somebody says money, and all of a sudden everybody's listening. So if I say F-U-C-K, everybody's listening. So it's like an ear catcher. So we don't count the pin, and we'll only count 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Let me mark these off. But then I'm going to sneeze, and I'm not going to move the book. Oh my God! I thought we were doing the 3 up here and the 3 down here. Now they become the 3 down here and the 3 down here. We got 11, or we got equals. What's in between? It's irrelevant. It's what's on this side and this side is transferred, that each, the bottom and the high of whatever it is. It's in between. Here and here is all equals. Here's the train, choo, 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 3 lines, right? They call that in trucking a tri-axle. What's my name? Mary Jane. Where do I live? Down the lane. That's what we used to say all the time when I was younger. What's my name? Mary Jane. Where did we live? Down the lane. Oh, refrain from your manipulating of those words, Raphael, Mr. Tackpan's retardo. Anyways, let's get on. The other thing you have to know is that the 4 corners will always remain the 4 corners of a dot. This is how you create the R. This is how the dots touch. This is where the dot comes from. It comes from the 6th position. The 6th position, the 6th position, the 6th position, the 6th position. It uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It uses all 6 from the 6th position. This one does not. This one uses 4, pending which world it's in. What else am I going to do right now? Not sure. I'm thinking the comet, come! C-O-M-E-T. Come to me. Comet. A deliverer of something. A package. Part of the game. What I'd want to say last, it's all about 64 if you're thinking. Well, there's a lot of other numbers. 3 times 8 is 24, part of the connecting moons of the 24-hour day. 4 by 6 is 24, and it's the 4 parts of the 6th man of the 6th world, of the 3 and 3 going this way, and the 3 and 3 going this way. And the 3 and 3 from the center to the left, and the 3 and 3 from the center to the right. Of the 4 of the 3 and the 1 center, of the 4 and the 3 and the 1 center, of the 3 and the 1 center, of the 3 and the 1 center. When this one shows up, these 2 disappear. When these 2 show up, this one disappears. Not in all the worlds, but and for a reason. The outside count saying we're carrying the weight of the inside. The inside count say we're carrying the weight of the outside. What else is there? Who am I? I'm nobody. I'm a lucky go happy. I feel it, I sense it, I know it. Now the truth of what I know, does it have any bearing in the lives of the totality of the entire man around the planet? I think so. Somehow, some way. But then again, we all have to do with each other. Over time, it's what we do create the laws. There's a lot of things. 4 by 6 is 24. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 and 24 is 34. 34, 3 by 4 is 12. 3 plus 4 is 7 is total of the man on the moon. 19. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 plus 9 is 10. 19. The only numbers that are repeated are the same numbers that are called 19. 91 and 19 is 110, the Twin Towers. That is the highest and the lowest you can go, Alpha Omega, and so are the Twin Towers, the highest and the lowest. 34 expresses the word 1, also DC, saying that it's DC and expresses 1 and 7 or 17 of 1776. It expresses DC, plus it expresses 34 as the numerological value for 1, makes it AC DC inside X. AC DC, oh, it's pretty icy outside. We're disconnected, that's why. We're disconnected. Is that what I mean? We're disconnected and it gets icy up here. Somehow we do get disconnected from the world. This winter world has something to do with God. Don't forget. It's not alone. Winter is not alone. It has to do with the game, and it has to do with who runs the highest factor of king. And the kings keep turning around. Do you know what that means? It means in order for us not to learn the kings of the world who is in power, they'll always do things at a different time. It'll always be a different federation. The Galactic Federation, the Death Federation. There's all kinds of different federations. And this also can imply that it has something to do with our senses of our body. So we did 34 is 24 and 10. And 10 times 6 is 60. And 60 is the numerological value for 4, F-O-U-R. 240 is 10 times 24, or 6 times 24 is 144, which actually becomes time of the day. Let me do that upside down. 6 by 24 equals to 144, 144,000 midway angels, 1,440 minutes in a day. 12 times 12 equals 144, and it just keeps going over and over and connecting and connecting. Look, the comet says, "Me come et." Comet. Me come et. Comet also stands for 3 and 6, 4, 5, and 2. 4, 5, and 2 is huge because it's all about 52. 4 decks, 52 cards, 4 years, 52 weeks, and so on and so forth. No, I cannot explain everything. I just know something's going on. So what does that do for me? Well, if you tell me something, I'm going to tell you a story about it, of how it came to be what it is based on how I see it. Now, I'm only 50. How can I possibly talk about things that happened thousands of years ago? Because it's how I feel inside. My body has been around forever. I just haven't been in it. My body has been around forever, but I just haven't been in it. My skin was somewhere in the earth. The water was somewhere around. Before I was born, this water could have been in Timbuktu. I don't know. But I was here, and so are you. We weren't just thinking on the same level. Raphael 7286. The comet come once. The comet come twice. So, the comet come again. Kamikaze, the comets. I like that. I believe in that. I really, just because, how can I say this? Miranda, is that what your name was? Miranda, DNA, 4114, Miranda, Mirage, Miranda. Something to hold up to protect you from something. The DNA, the mind that comes within. You know what the other thing I was thinking? Is I'm gonna just draw this and show you that what happens now is, now I didn't do this one properly because this may have gone here. We surround this one because this one is not running a clock. The first one runs the clock it doesn't need. If it's running in a circle, okay, and there's many ways to do this, because we could be having 4 planets, 1 planet, 4 planets, 1 planet. And that'll make you all your planets in the sun connected together. Or it could be running all like this and not reconnected in the back, but we're still going around in a circle. Maybe only the center is connected in a donut, or the road we travel each year is connected in a donut. Even that so. You know, we might be, have you ever seen a spiral? That's a spiral, and it turns, but it seems like it's spiraling into something, but it's not. That might just be us going up and down. Anyways, the other thing is this. When you put the bat caves on, the wings, okay, you cover up this side of you, this side of you, and this side of you. Now, if you were a bird, this would be your body, and you'd be protecting your body. You'd need the front, the back, and the center of one bird, the back, the front, the center of the other bird. Okay, now if you were flying this way, out here, in this direction, okay, this would cover up this. You could not put one of these in here. So these two get protected between the front and the back wing on each side. You protect one on the left, one on the right. You understand what I'm saying? If we're flying this way, this can be part of your body, which means inside the world over here, the dot here and the dot here, this would be your 88, right over here. And this would be the One World Connect, this would be a One World Connect, and down here would be the One World Connect. 95 and 27 is 122. 3 times 95 and 27 equals 122, times 3 equals 366 days, and that's how many days there are in a leap year. And that's the reason it works that way. Now, why did I pick 13 and 14? Because when you go back to the first cube, when you start on the first cube of Rubik's Cube, you're on the 13th cube, you're on the 15th, 14th, you're on the 15th cube, which is the 13th cube from the end of the Rubik's Cube, okay? And then you go on to the next Rubik's Cube where you're in number 14, and you always get the center of the Rubik's Cube because you're always getting the center of the planets or whatever you're going into. Always getting number 5, always being in the center, okay? Although on the mug and dubber there are 6 points, okay, MD. What is the actual center? You see on the stop sign, there are 8 points. The center would be 9, but the center in numbers is 5. But the ace card plays from the center position 5, which is actually the 9th space. And also one of the reasons for the Q and the 8 and the other world is because the Q starts the dot here, and then it moves it out here, just like the time clock or a bicycle wheel on the Q. The Q is turning the rest of the world. One world turns the rest. One the Q with a U, one the Q without a U. Just like in the word 5 in French is 5, C-I-N-Q. There is no U, but any other time there is a U, and then pending what languages we will speak about you and who and whatever else. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a nice day.